Then suddenly, on November 21st, the feature was active for everyone for about an hour, and then it quickly vanished again. But it turns out an hour was all that was needed to light the entire fucking site on fire. Guess what? A ton of those right-wing MAGA accounts that are constantly posting viral clickbait about woke, liberal, leftist, communist Democrats, or whatever the fuck? Yeah, most of them aren't operating from the States. In fact, they're not even operating in Western English-speaking countries at all. You know, the places that we would expect organic discourse on these topics. Let's look at some of the people who had their hands caught in the cookie jar. I'd like to credit Nick Monroe, otherwise known as Lobster Looker on Twitter, for a lot of this stuff. He didn't provide all of them, but he did make a big thread cataloging everything, so go give him a follow. Right off the bat, it turns out that Doge Designer is actually based out of India. Doge Designer being an account with 1.
What the bro? But that has to be a joke, right? That has to be a meme.
7 million followers that basically just simps for Elon Musk. This account here, Commentary Tom Homan, or Homan News, is basically just an account dedicated to reporting on Tom Homan, you know, the Trump immigration guy. This account claims to be based out of Virginia, USA, but it's actually reporting from Eastern Europe, not in the EU. So what does that mean? Russia, Ukraine, Belarus? That's pretty much it. Oh, MAGA World, that's from the vague East Asia and Pacific. Okay. MAGA Nation, once again, non-EU Eastern Europe. This Caroline Levitt fan aggregator account is from Hong Kong. This Ivanka Trump account claims to be from Florida. I don't know if this person is intending to be Ivanka Trump, or is
just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much for a 10 Australian. Dude, Jesus Christ. Bro. They're all from different countries. That's crazy. Oh, well, I mean, it's not crazy, right? Like, you would expect most of them to be from another country, but...
Martini, shaken, not stirred.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo! Thank you so much for a 10 USD buoy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys are very kind. Keep it going. Please. The first third of it is a funny list of fake accounts, then I get into the actual topic. Okay, alright, this better not just be listing off bot accounts, okay? Right, good luck.
An Ivanka News account based out of Florida, but they're from Nigeria.
Uh-oh.
Maga Nadine, the female bodybuilder from New York City, is actually from Morocco. And by the way, probably also isn't a female bodybuilder. Sorry, guys. Izana Speaks, the proud American standing for freedom, strength, and the USA first. I've actually seen this account around here and there. One of those tradwife LARPers. But it's actually from Pakistan. Connected via the United Arab Emirates App Store. Dude. Oh yeah, this was especially funny. The webcomic America Man.
No, you don't get it, okay? They're all from, you don't get it, Dev. They're all using VPNs, okay? Chill.
Which does a bunch of pro-Trump stuff, is actually from Indonesia. Oh yeah, the Mel Gibson QAnon account. I remember this one. It's based in Nigeria. Here's one of those reactionary LARPer accounts that uses a picture of an old European philosopher. It's from India, though. Oh my god, look at this one. 650,000 followers. Emma Brunette, relationship coach, American patriot, MAGA. West
Dude, dead internet theory is real.
Asia. It's all fake, guys. It's all fucking fake. Oh, I've seen this one a lot. I even commented into their stuff sometimes.
You know, I think the scuffed mic really contributes to the feeling, okay? The scuffed mic really takes me back all the way, okay?
MAGA Storm. This is an account that specifically posts news stories of the day with an extreme pro-Trump bias, oftentimes just making shit up. And they're also from Eastern Europe, non-EU.
Liar!
Same with this one, the Trump Army, South Asia. And Megascope, too. That one's from Nigeria. Oh, here's a Baron Trump fan account giving you all the latest Baron Trump news, even though they also claim to be Trump's son, and that they're at Mar-a-Lago. 583,000 followers on this one. And look, they're from the non-EU Eastern Europe region. Of course they are. It's all fucking Russian bots, unironically. Look at this guy honoring all who served. Veterans Day. Trump, pro-Trump, Team Trump. He's from Nigeria. Here's a Nick...
Will they, like, would they not use... Do they not use any of that fucking... Do they not use VPN to hide where they're coming from? Unless their VPN is set in this time. Does it go past the VPN somehow? Doesn't he use a VPN to show how he's from Israel to freak out Candace Owens? But that's what he does. His source literally says it comes from Israel. He probably did it on purpose to troll people.
Fuentes fan account. Also from Nigeria. How many Nigerian fans does Nick Fuentes really have? Come on. The guy...
It shows if you're using a VPN?
Gavin Newsom Groiper is in Nicaragua.
Wasn't a thing until a few
here's
days
the Red
ago?
Pillar account, the Man Maker. He's from South Asia. Maga47 Amara. I'm a Trump-supporting MAGA girl. From Thailand.
Oh, no.
MAGA Warrior posting about American news, all the way from South Asia. Is anyone on this fucking app real? Joe Rogan fan account. This is America. On the literal other side of the planet from Joe Rogan. Check out this one, guys.
But during the first hour, it hit everybody before they could react. Wait, so did you grab as many screenshots as you could before they changed it? I'm guessing that you grabbed as many screenshots as you could before it got changed. right?
MAGA, Patriot Warriors, reject woke ideology. Once again, from Nigeria. Oh my god, this one's not a fan account. This is the real Jackson Hinkle. For those of you who don't know, Jackson Hinkle is simultaneously extremely far left and far right. He's just anti-liberal no matter which.
Why not play Limbus Company? Oh, I already played it. I love Limbus Company. Limbus Company is like one of my favorite gacha games. It's just that it's just devoid of content. Like, there's just no content in Limbus. I need to go back and play the new storyline, but obviously I would rather play the new storyline off stream, right? Rather than on stream. Yeah, I don't want to be distracted. Yeah.
Which way that goes. He unironically believes that Russia is the good guys,
There's no
that the
content
West is degenerate and subverted by liberalism. While it will be based Christian Russia coming in to topple the liberal world order, all that shit, this is his actual account. He's claimed for years to be based out of Miami, Florida, but he's actually posting from Burkina Faso. Like, this is actually a real dude.
Where?
He's made public appearances and shit.
Is that a real place?
Man? Charlie's Voice Rising. Another mega aggregate.
Charlie's Voice Rising. Oh my god. That's not the only thing that's rising for Charlie's Widow. I'll not elaborate.
Voice for Charlie Kirk. Truth, faith, freedom. Fighting censorship and lies. For the people, for God, for America. 200,000 followers. Oh, is that where Charlie Kirk's ghost went? Is he haunting Eastern Europe now or something? Make her wet. Learn how to make her submit to you. Improve your game. Seduction and attract feminine women. This ain't your average red pill account. You're right, 'cause it's based out of India, and we all already know about bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna! Oh my god, Anne-Marie Strawhand. That's a very Nigerian name you got going on there. Patriot is about giving back to those who bled for our freedom. 100% of collected fees donated to veterans. Veterans where? In Hong Kong? Jay Thrives, the Trump freak, talking about the 2026 red wave. Doing so, once again, from Nigeria. Breaking news from this 200,000 follower account.
Wait, I'm curious about my own account now. Hold on.
God bless America and Trump. No, they are not based out of Florida. They're based out of South Asia. This one gets around a lot too. Dark Mega Coin, so much for being a hacker. The entirety of this project is American, and every post was authored by Americans. Watch your step. Dark Mega Patriots are in control. In control from Thailand. This mega
account based in the United States. So based. This is how you know I'm not Indian, okay? Okay, there you go. Proof I'm not Indian. Boom. Okay. Account based in the United States. There you go.
girl who's a proud patriot who...
What kind of American are you? Indian.
Who's here for truth, freedom, and a better future, is actually here from Cambodia. Mary Tiles Texas, a MAGA influencer, turns out is just straight up from Russia. And she quickly added a VPN to her account in order to hide the fact, but we all saw it. Severus Chud.
Of course you did.
This account kind of role plays as Severus Snape from Harry Potter, but it's like a right-wing Chud version of it, you know, being racist and sexist and homophobic and transphobic, posting memes. They're from Pakistan. Oh my god. This has to be one of the funniest things to ever happen on Twitter. It's pretty undeniable at this point. That not all of, obviously.
Wait, is it just because it's easy money and like $1 in these other countries are worth like $50 trillion? Is that has to be the reason, right? Because otherwise there's not really any political. It's either for political reasons because other governments want to see the United States destabilized, or it's specifically because earning money as a MAGA grifter is way easier when you are from a third world country, and like a single Twitter payout can feed you for like 6 months.
But a measurable chunk of the online hype behind Trump and MAGA actually is just a foreign psyop. Like, I'm sorry, little gup, but Trump is not actually your president. Just to be clear, it's not only MAGA accounts or white nationalist accounts or other types of right-wing accounts that were caught in Elon's location dragnet. We do have the occasional left-wing bot, it's not all right-wing ones. Proud Democrat, professional MAGA hunter, I have TDS, based in New Jersey, actually based in Kenya. Holy shit, guys. Is this Obama's alt? Of course, some of these actually made sense. For example, this Japanese ethot account is actually based in Brazil. I don't know who this person is, or if they're actually Japanese or not. Lots of people are making the claim she's faking. She might be, but considering that Brazil has the largest population of Japanese people outside of Japan, it's not like it's impossible she's telling the truth here. Meanwhile, an account that claimed to be a Muslim girl living in Kashmir, India, turned out to actually be from Bangladesh. Considering the history between India and Bangladesh, and between Hindus and Muslims, I'm not surprised in the slightest if some of these end up being psyop accounts meant to look the other side look bad. In a similar vein, an account based in Hong Kong that spreads pro-Chinese, anti-West propaganda.
Oh my god, somebody should check Zay Squirrel. Holy shit. A lot of these like big accounts, I think they need to be checked, dude. I think Zay Squirrel needs to be checked. On God.
propaganda
Holy
also claims
shit.
to be run by an English person. Now, this isn't impossible. I'm sure some English people stayed behind in Hong Kong after the handover, but even if this is true, it just makes you a Chi-Com cuck. And of course, sometimes there is actually a good reason for the discrepancy. Recall that video I did on the
Colonel Taco Gatekeeper, an account with over 100k followers that claim to be a Japanese nationalist living in Japan, is an account created and located in Europe. Of course, weeaboos are the cancer of this world.
Fell for It Again award, you know, where Trumpsters kept taking out
Zay is Europe, I think? Okay.
and the internet kept memeing them for it. Well,
Of
there's
course.
one big account that reposted
That kind of makes sense. I think that's not really that suspicious.
events like these
Sure.
regularly, and it was discovered to be posting from the United Kingdom. Some people were acting like this revelation entirely disqualifies anything they have to say, mostly just coping right-wing retards. But no, this is still within the Anglosphere, within the West. Americans comment on non-American politics all the time. Regulators in the States talk about Trudeau, Canada's immigration problems,
Is this
about the
from Europe?
EU and
Oh,
the UK and their issues with migrants. It's not automatically astroturf if it comes from a foreign country, especially ones with shared languages. In much the same vein,
Hello, DG. Hello, I see you guys. I'm reading DG chat.
people acted like the Republicans Against Trump account was exposed for being from Austria, when its owner has always been open and honest about
It's a
being an
love-hate
American
relationship
citizen
with the
living
people,
overseas.
okay?
Probably the worst of the bunch are official government accounts or military accounts. For example, an account that posted military propaganda for Russia ended up being from India. An account that posted military propaganda for Iran ended up being from Canada. I swear it's
Do this IRL. There you go. Happy.
not me, guys. A counter APAC account ended up being from Egypt. No surprise there. A pro-Israel account ended up being from India once again. And possibly the funniest and maybe the most concerning is that the official American Department of Homeland Security account, the actual real government account, ended up being from Israel. Holy shit, you guys are not beating the Zog
Dude, what? There's no way. That has to be a meme. What? That's crazy.
allegations anytime soon. It's also important to point
Yikes.
out that some of the accounts that people commonly suspected of being foreign bots actually just weren't. For example, Dissident West and Trad West are in fact based in Western countries, at least at first glance. But there's an additional feature we gotta talk about. Sometimes an account has this shield symbol beside the location. Upon
Oh,
further
shield
inspection,
symbol.
it's revealed the shield means that Twitter thinks this user might be using a VPN to mask their true location, especially if the given
Yikes.
location is a vague generalized place like North America. Another hint is if the account was created in one country but currently resides in another behind a VPN. Additionally, the circle with an exclamation mark shows that a person used to use this account from one country and now lives in a different one. Or the account just started using a VPN and Twitter can't detect it. Which, by the way, makes accounts like Cat Turd or Leftism for You make a lot more sense now. These dudes always came off as third world astroturf psyop bullshit. This has all led to a new phenomenon of, whenever one of these aggregator accounts posts American culture war slop, people are in there
This is my video on Fushop stream, guys. Oh, base. Hello, I see you there.
replies dropping screenshots of their actual location as a way to basically say, fuck you, we don't want you interfering in our politics anymore. Like,
Dude, it's so cute how SFO has just been a Fushops fan for like 2 years. It's so cute.
how the fuck is the Turkish account 1776 general out here posting America only? Suddenly, the old hypothesis of a lot of right-wing nonsense on social media being fake actually holds a lot more weight. And of course, there are the memes. Why wouldn't there be? Like the guy who said, it's nice to finally prove I'm not Indian, showing his account labeling him as from America, but his Twitter app is in the Indian language. This guy's redeemed in more ways than one. Or how about the dude who started his account in the Netherlands, but purposely turned on a VPN to appear like he's from Russia? Oh my god, that's gonna be the next psyop, isn't it? All those bot farms in India or wherever, they're gonna start using VPNs to appear from Russia as a cover for being a Russian-hired bot farm. Yes, although Twitter has now descended into a bunch of Americans declaring that other Americans are actually
It is kind of sad how inactive DG chat is now. Like, because I remember back then when DG chat would, like, be so fast. This is definitely, like, Destiny's lowest moment for sure. Yeah, it just seems kind of dead now compared to, like, years ago. It's pretty sad.
bots, lots of people had a good old laugh at the unfolding shit show, as meltdowns and paranoia became more common. For the hour the feature was active, it truly was a lot of fun. Of course, there is a real conversation here too. Foreign enemy nations flooding the internet with anti-West
Destiny fell off. It's just, dude.
propaganda meant to demoralize
It's
the population
sad.
of democracies, subverting them
It's just
from within.
sad.
That is
I don't
a
know
real
what else to
problem.
say
I remember
about
an
it.
event
It's
from a few months
sad.
ago, back when the big civil war within MAGA was the
should
H1B
blame
tech
Dan?
bros
Okay.
versus the America First
I'm okay with
nationalists. Suddenly, a bunch of right-wing accounts began to post pro-India messages, saying that to be pro-India is to be pro-MAGA,
Oh,
as
so it's a
China is their
Monday?
common enemy,
Oh.
while to be anti-India is to backstab Trump. All the while Trump was going back and forth on oil tariffs in India. Now, of course, Trump goes back and forth on every single fucking tariff because he's an orangutan. But rank-and-file people on the right absolutely noticed there was suddenly a bunch of pro-India solidarity all at once, coming from some pretty big right-wing talking heads, especially since a lot of them literally copy-pasted this specific message. The fake news is trying to paint India as an enemy. Why? Because they have always loved and worked with Trump. Don't buy into their swamp tactics. If we make them an enemy, they will fall into the hands of the CCP. Yes, this exact message was reposted over and over and over again. Actually, this one's probably the funniest. Respect
It's because they changed the stereo mode, Or maybe there's just too many fucking gooners.
Elves is a largely apolitical account. They're pretty clearly right-leaning based on the jokes they make, which is fine, but this guy does not commonly talk about real politics. And he all but admits he took a paycheck in the comments. Fuck it. If they're letting you just immediately contradict it, who cares? Get the bag, bro. Or how about that time the undersea internet cable to India in the Middle East was cut? Recall that shit? Some people thought it was the Houthis, or Russia, or China, or whoever. Others thought maybe a shark chewed through it.
They banned all the gooners? What?
Since that does happen sometimes. But the point is, for around a day, the Middle Eastern and Indian presence on the Western internet was drastically reduced. And once again, the rank-and-file right-wingers began to...
Josh, you haven't accepted my friend request yet, Madge? I haven't? I feel like... No, I don't have any... friend requests.
Notice that a bunch of the large right-wing aggregator accounts suddenly vanished. Forget about Secret Hitler. These guys are playing Secret Indian. These previous, seemingly unrelated events are popping up in my mind because they are all little bits of evidence pointing in one direction. We already know the Russian government outsources its bot farm operations to the Middle East, or India, or Nigeria. We also already know that when one large right-wing slop account makes a post, the others repost it within seconds. It's not definitively proven, and it would be pretty hard to do so, but I think it's a reasonable assumption that a good chunk of the big right-wing aggregators online are actually just being run by some third worlder sitting in front of like 100 phones, getting paid by America's adversaries to beam propaganda directly into your brain. Of course, a lot of the right doesn't want to admit that a good chunk of the public support for their positions online is actually just astroturfed propaganda from foreign anti-American powers. But nonetheless, this is something that they know very well, because they used to talk about it. And when they did talk about it, they were completely correct. This is Yuri Bezmenov, a former spy for the Soviet Union, who defected to the West. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you already know about this guy. Let's go over it again. He gave to the West details of the Soviet Union's Active Measures program. Active Measures was designed to specifically use the West's freedoms to undermine it, by sowing discord and false information among the citizens of NATO countries. According to Bezmenov, this process had 4 stages. The first stage, demoralization, was a long-running propaganda campaign in the West by Soviet agents to make common American people, or Canadian or European, whatever, hate their own countries, to demoralize them, to make them lose faith in their own institutions and values. The second stage, destabilization, comes after enough people no longer identify with their own society. The various social bonds that hold things together beyond the naked force of the law come undone, and only violence without...
Wait, hold on. There's no way he did this without a scratch, right? If someone defects from the Soviet Union to the West, like, should they not be assassinated by the KGB or a target for assassination? Do they escape that? Because I would imagine a lot of state secrets are, like, in danger, right? Or is he protected a lot?
Pretense keeps society together. The third stage, crisis, is the political decline, the erosion of the state, as the people bristle under the government's attempts to keep the old status quo together. And the fourth stage, normalization, is when a new order with new values comes into
Wait, did he have at least one assassination attempt, at the very least?
Being, which the people believe in and unite around, sweeping the old order away. The Soviet Union used active measures to great effect across the world, helping instigate communist uprisings in multiple countries. And they also attempted to use it in the West as well. They found useful idiots in American academia and journalism.
Oh yeah, agitprop, right? Like actual agitprop, not just like lefty tankies joining random Discord servers, right? Like actual agitprop.
Throughout the 1960s and 70s. People who genuinely believed in the socialist project and thought that what the Soviets were doing was ushering in the next phase of human development. Once again, we are back at Antonio Gramsci, the Italian Communist Party leader who heavily influenced Western leftist academic thought. And surely by now, you've watched both of my videos going over his ideas, right? This is pretty well-trodden ground for us here. Pretty much every right-wing YouTuber or streamer or whatever knows about Yuri Bezmenov and the Active Measures program. They know what the Soviets tried to do to the West, and it's why they correctly view the socialists of today as the subversive scumbags they are. But either the right-wingers are too stupid, too delusional, or too dishonest to recognize that just because the Soviet Union fell doesn't mean that Active Measures stopped. Russia, under Putin, continues the Active Measures program to this day. They continue to subvert the West using demoralizing propaganda. Now, to be fair, this time around, their goal isn't to incite a communist revolution. The Russians don't give a shit about that. The Russians want America subverted, weakened, turned inward, so that America won't oppose Russian expansionism. And that's where all the right-wing bots come in. All of these influencers who are broadcasting from some third-world shithole, they're all MAGA influencers, but they're also extremely anti-American. Yes, I know that MAGA stands for Make America Great Again, but that argument is just as stupid now as when I last heard it, back when Antifa was saying they were just anti-fascist. We all know by now that various movements adopt aesthetics that don't match their meaning, and MAGA is no different. So what is the MAGA message pushed from these accounts?
But you mean the Nazis weren't just about socialism?
It's certainly not pro-America. It's the message that America sucks. The American empire is evil. The West is in decline. The American values of liberal capitalist democracy are destroying the world. All America does is waste money.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how much MAGA actually hates the United States. They keep on saying how much they love the United States, but everywhere I go, they're just always talking about how much it sucks like how much the United States suck, right? Oh, there's a deep state. Oh, we have to root everyone out. Oh, there's a swamp and we have to drain it. Oh, there are secret pedophile cabal, like fucking Hillary Clinton shit, right? Yeah. Ironically enough, it's just like the lefties, right? Yeah, they're united by their hatred of America. Yeah.
money and kill people whenever it goes overseas. Therefore, America should isolate itself from others, turn its back on its allies, cede all territory to Russia and China. It's no
Meanwhile, like for liberals, all right, the way that they differentiate themselves from extreme left or extreme right populist messaging is always like, well, I mean, America has always been on the right path. There has never been a time where America hasn't been on the right path in how it conducts, generally speaking, except for recently because of Trump. But generally speaking, yeah, America has always been on the right path. It has always been pretty damn good to be in the United States. And we recognize that, right? But you know, it's much more cool, and you know, it's much more cool to just hate America. You know, it's very trendy.
No coincidence that a good chunk of the MAGA agenda serves Russian and Chinese interests. All of that, the West has fallen nonsense, that's the demoralization. The crisis is stuff like January 6th, where people were subverted and psyoped enough into believing that the election was stolen from them. And the new order that is being normalized is the Trump order, and it seeks to replace Americanism with this soft, cucked version of itself that will basically allow the Russians and the Chinese to do whatever they want. The Trump movement serves the interest of America's enemies by convincing average Americans that the way forward is abandoning their allies in the world. Of course, the MAGA reply to this is to laugh and say, LOL, he thinks the Russian ops are real, because the very idea of Russian ops has been discredited by stuff like the PIS dossier. At the same time, though, if you were the Russians pulling off the active measures program on American citizens, isn't that exactly what you would do? Point at some obviously fake bullshit to make the idea that you could possibly be subverting the United States laughable? Turn the idea of your subversion.
America hasn't always been on the right path. We were really fucking around in South America in the 1900s. We got back on the path, though. I need to learn more about that. I don't know much about what you're talking about there, but you could be right.
Into a meme, even as you continue to subvert. Make the subverted idiots laugh at the possibility that they could ever be fooled, even as you fool them. Yes, the PIS dossier was fucking bullshit. We all know that. But there's a
The what dossier? What's the PIS dossier?
the reason that rightoids fall back on it and ignore all of the actual credible allegations of Russian involvement. This is why I think this Twitter nonsense is actually pretty important, despite the obvious laughs. To anybody who says, LOL, you still think Russia? Yes, Russia is the enemy of the West. They seek to undermine the freedoms that the liberal, capitalist, democratic world enjoys. They are not some based, trad, Christian nationalist country that has come to save the West from its own degeneracy, or whatever these fucking retarded LARPers think. And the same goes for China. They're an enemy of the West too. It is actually incredible to me that so many Americans got psyoped into hating their own country and its values, all the while wearing a MAGA hat, simply because a bunch of third worlders got handed a stack of Russian money to post on Twitter about how the West has fallen, because immigrants are now shopping at Costco.
A little more than that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Never know what you have until it's gone. True. Hold on. I'm gonna be right back. One of my order is here. My fucking orange scones. I want scones, okay? That's what I want. I want scones. Alright. Nick Fuentes might be onto something. I like how you say Fuentes because you know that YouTube demonetizes and like pushes down Fuentes as a word. I like how you know that. It's cute. There are some dark periods. All the spying we were doing in the NSA that Snowden revealed, MK Ultra and other CIA fuckery. Am I the only one who thinks that Snowden would be anti-Putin and anti-Trump if it weren't for his current predicament? Because right now he only has people like them to bail him out, right? Or to like protect him, right? But for Snowden, I feel as though he would be like one of these motherfuckers who would be anti-Trump, right? Like I feel like he's one of these. I don't know. I think he would, right? Hopefully, Copium. He seems like a reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person? When the moment calls for calm, yes. Yeah. Hold on.